If you were to ask me who the worst lawyer in the entire country is, without hesitation, my mind immediately would go to Alina Habba. Now, you may be tempted to say, but Faron, what about Rudy Giuliani? What about Sidney Powell? Sure, corrupt as hell, the pair of them. But when it comes to just sheer stupidity, nobody can hold a candle to Alina Habba. This past weekend, during an appearance on Fox News, Alina Habba said that Donald Trump, her former client, by the way, she's no longer his real lawyer. She actually works for his Super Pact now as both a spokesperson and technically legal counsel. So she's still technically one of Trump's lawyers, but not fully. But either way, she said that Donald Trump does not need time to prepare for trial because he is not like every other normal person out there. Instead, he is incredibly intelligent, she tells us. Here's the way this exchange took place. Habba was asked on Sunday by Fox News host Shannon Bream, quote, "How do you logistically handle prepping a client for all of those different trials and running for president of the United States?" And Habba smugly and stupidly replied, "Yeah, if it was a normal person, honestly, Shannon, I could understand the concern. President Trump is not your average person. He's incredibly intelligent and he knows the ropes. He also knows the facts because he lived them. These are not complicated facts. Look at Fulton County. It was a phone call that's been around forever that he refers to as the perfect phone call. What is he going to have to be prepped for? The truth? You don't have to prep much when you've done nothing wrong," she says. Now, Habba, of course, made these comments on Sunday. And then the day after, yesterday, Trump's other lawyers had to go in front of Judge Tanya Chutkan and argue that, hey, we need 2 years to prep for this trial, right? And the judge was like, no, you don't. You're going to be ready. I'm setting the trial date for March of 2024. So you've got, 7 months. Here you go. Get ready. Now, Judge Chutkan, in her ruling, where Trump's lawyers had wanted April 2026 for the trial, but instead they get 2 years earlier next March, she didn't specifically cite Alina Habba's statement from the weekend that Donald Trump doesn't need any time to prep, but I'm sure that she was aware of these idiotic comments. And that's how stupid Alina Habba is. If you want to boast about how smart your guy is, about what a great, trial guy he is, like he's such a good defendant, he doesn't need to be prepped. I get it. You want the world to think that your guy is ready to go out there and tell the truth and get these charges dismissed, which is what you would do as a spokesperson, which she is. But for the legal team, which is probably why you're no longer on it, that is absolute kryptonite. That is quite possibly one of the dumbest things you can say to put out there in the ether, especially because you actually singled out the Georgia case. Now, we have already seen at least one defendant get an October trial date. Other defendants have now requested speedy trials themselves. And if you're out there saying Donald Trump doesn't need time to prep, even though his lawyers have already filed a motion saying we need more time to prep, that's going to weigh heavily. The prosecution will use that against Donald Trump's actual lawyers in court. You just screwed them over because you're an idiot. Because instead of acting like a lawyer, you acted like somebody whose only job is to go out there and stroke Donald Trump's ego. And I'm sure it made him feel good. Until, of course, that ruling came down on Monday. And he'll probably continue to feel a little okay about it until he gets that trial date for Georgia. And you can thank Alina Habba when these judges continue to refuse Donald Trump's actual lawyer's requests for a little bit of delay here and delay there, because she has now put it on the record that he doesn't need time to prep. And I promise you, the prosecutors are going to use that to their advantage. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.